This is a racing short made for my followers that don't watch racing. As is relatively common knowledge for anybody, regardless of whether or not you watch racing, Dale Earnhardt was the last NASCAR Cup Series driver to lose their life as a result of an on-track incident. Since then, only 4 drivers have died as a direct result of an on-track incident in a nationally sanctioned American stock car racing series. 2 of them within the next 2 years, while the new safety measures were still being introduced. But how, after the 50-year history of death, did the sudden mortality rate of NASCAR and just in general stock car racing suddenly decline? Well, in the late 90s and early 2000s, the demand for safety implementation was at an all-time high. Quoting Tony Stewart here, nobody wants to see their favorite driver get hurt. And this was also after a year where 4 major deaths in the sport all occurred within 1 calendar year, all of them sustaining very similar head injuries. So the result of this were 2 breakthrough technologies. The Hans device, which is a head and neck stabilizer meant to prevent the head from quickly jerking at the moment of impact, and a steel and foam barrier called a safer barrier, meant to take away some of the energy that would normally be received by the driver. Now, the NASCAR garage was mixed on these technologies at first until the death of Dale. Only a few weeks following, most drivers, despite the discomfort of it, elected to begin using the Hans device. Now, by the time NASCAR made this a mandatory thing in October following the death of Blaise Alexander, all but 1 driver was using it. And the safer barrier began to see use in 2002 and was first crash tested in practice for the 2002 Indianapolis 500. Soon after, most other tracks also began to implement the barrier across the entire perimeter of the racetrack, as well as across the infield walls. Now, the final piece to the puzzle to make this truly a safer sport was just an oversight by ARCA officiating, where spotters were not required to be in position on the spotter stand during practice, the root cause of the 2002 practice crash that killed Eric Martin. While we have had some close calls in the years that followed, as well as some likely indirect results of crashes that led to a driver's death, no driver in a nationally sanctioned American stock car racing series has died as a direct result of an on-track racing incident since 2007. Leave a comment if you feel smarter for watching this.